everybody. I've got a really cool show today for everybody. I want to, in case you don't know him, because I think most people probably know Jay Scott, a.k.a. Jay the comedian. Welcome to my channel, Jay.
Hey, what's up? How are you doing today? I'm glad to be here. What's up, everybody watching? You have amazing calf muscle veins. I know you work them out. They look good. Keep doing what you're doing. I've seen some bad ones, but yours look amazing.
I hope that includes mine because I just fell off of a ladder and bruised mine up. So maybe, that will help. Maybe, I don't know.
Dudes dig scars.
Mine are more like bruises right now, but yeah, I got some scars too. I got some scars too. Yeah.
Got you.
So, hey, you know what we want to talk about? Just kind of let everybody know. I know, like I was telling you before we started to record that I've been on some of your older stuff on YouTube, and I did see that you kind of told your story, but not a whole lot. So was kind of wanting to just let everybody know what your story is. I mean, like, how I mean, were you born in? Did your parents come in later? What was your story like as a kid?
So, my parents, they each had their own path of coming into the organization. My mother, she had some kids before she met my father. My father had some kids before she met my mother, and this is before they became witnesses. When they became witnesses, they got married, and then they had 3 more kids, which is me, my older sister, and my younger sister right below me. And so, yeah, I was born in, and so was my 2 younger sisters, all born in. And my older sister never got baptized, and they gave her a hard time about that, because she was just not with the whole Jehovah Witness thing. I think she might have believed it, but she was just like, nah, I don't want to live my life like that. And they made her life hard, and she ended up getting kicked out the house at like 16 or something like that. And I was just there watching it. Now, I believed in it. I didn't enjoy it, but I did believe in it. And I believed in it to a certain point. I remember when I was young, my father told me that anybody my age that's not baptized is probably a gang member. And he told me that because the elder at my hall told him that. So
wow.
To prove to him that I wasn't a gang member, I got baptized at 12 years old, right? And
so also, wait. So here you are.
Yes.
How old were you when he said that?
I think I was 11, going on 12.
So at 11, if you're not baptized, you're probably a gang member. I mean, come on. At 11, weren't you still playing with Matchbox cars or something? I mean.
But to be honest, on the south side of Chicago, where I grew up, there were young gang
members.
I'm
sure, but.
But I wasn't one of them. I was at home every day. Like, he knew I wasn't out running the streets. It was like, come on, man, are you kidding me? But to prove him wrong, I think he might have knew, but he was just like playing some mental jujitsu with me or something, because it made me say, no, I'm gonna prove you wrong. And I went and I got baptized. Now, funny thing about my baptism, I didn't want to do it. And I felt like if I didn't want to do it, if I did it just to prove somebody wrong, I'd get in trouble.
Yeah.
So when they were like, do you accept, Jehovah? Like, those 2 questions they give you?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
With my mouth, I mouthed yes, but I was really like, no.
Oh my gosh.
I never told nobody until like recently.
And you were waiting on the lightning, weren't you? You're like.
I was. I'm like, yeah, just don't, because I felt like if I said yes, I'd get hit with the lightning, because it's like, yeah, he's lying. I felt like you couldn't lie, like you get in trouble. So I got a mouth to no, right? I just didn't want nobody else to hear me. Everybody else was like, it was a bunch of us, and they were all yelling like, yes. So I was like, no, like up under my breath. But apparently that's supposed to disqualify my baptism anyway, but I don't know. It is what it is. I still took the dip in the water. So I got baptized really young, and I would probably say like maybe 14, 15. I started like, doing, stuff I wasn't supposed to do. And I liked it. And I'm like, okay, this is gonna be problematic. And I remember telling a brother at my hall one time that, me and this girl, like, we didn't do nothing, but we were like kissing and stuff like that. And he was just like, as long as you don't, go further, there's no need to have a judicial committee, just watch yourself. He was cool, right? But eventually, I don't know if you saw this video, but I made this recording with this camcorder I had, and I left it on my desk, and I went to work, and my mama saw the camcorder and the footage on the camcorder.
No, I didn't see that video.
I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
But it was a bunch of bad decisions I made. But my mother saw that video, and she immediately was like, okay, either you tell the elders, or I will tell the elders. So I told the elders. I didn't tell them everything. Like, I definitely didn't show them the tape.
Well, duh.
But I got put on public reproof for a little while, and I got put off. But like I said, from that point on, it was just like judicial committee, until I did get this fellowship. But let me just before I even go into that, like, the entire time I hated it. I did not like nothing about it, and I thought it was something wrong with me, because everybody else was saying, "Oh, this is, Jehovah's organization. I love it. It's so great. It makes me feel so good and happy." I'm like,
and you're wondering why? Why doesn't that make me happy?
Right. I'm supposed to love what God loves and hate what God hates. But I loved what God hated, and I hated what God loved. Like, it was the exact opposite. I felt like I was like a worldly person accidentally born into a Jehovah's Witness family. You know what I'm saying?
That is funny that you said that, because I told my husband that when I was a kid, I felt guilty because I always used to say, why did I have to be born like a witness? And then I felt awful about it. Like, it's me. I'm such a bad person. I'm such a bad person. But I wasn't doing anything wrong. I just really just wanted to just be a kid, So yeah, I totally get what you're saying.
Yeah, and it was that way for so long that eventually I got to the point where I was like, I'm gonna die. There's no way around it. I'm gonna die, but I'm just gonna try to live the best life I can and have as much fun as I can while I'm alive, and that was just it. So I ended up getting a bunch of friends who were just like me, and we all lived a double life. It was our little double life squad. We had our life we lived at the Kingdom Hall and around the witnesses, and we had our life outside of that. And we all were like the same, you know what I'm saying? So we all had fun. We all lived these.
Now, were you a teenager? You're talking like 15, 16?
Well, this was later. This is like later. So after that. And
so you got this fellowship when you were how old?
I want to say 18.
Okay.
Somewhere around there.
So did you have to leave then? Did your mom and dad say leave the house, or?
What exactly? I was living with my brother at the time.
Okay.
And
now was he? Wait. So I know. Did your sister was the one that wasn't a witness? But what about? So was your brother a witness?
Well, this is the thing. I have 9 sisters and I have 3 brothers. Now, they wasn't born in, but I have a bunch of sisters that is in, and I have like 2 brothers. My 2 brothers never really got into it like that. But my older brother, no, he wasn't a witness at all. And I was living with him at the time, and I moved with my 2 friends, and that's when I came back. I was only gone for like 6 months. I was only in this fellowship for 6 months. I moved in with my 2 friends who were also living a double life, but I started making my meetings constantly and just make sure I've been there. And when I was there, like, I was able to come back. Like I say, 6 months. It wasn't that bad of a disfellowshipping, but I mean, it sucked. Like, I missed my sister.
That's unusual.
Yeah.
Usually, I mean, it's usually
I had
a year.
It was funny. My father got disfellowshipped at the same time, like a little bit later.
Your dad? Wow.
Yeah, a little bit later. So me and him missed my sister's wedding. She got married and we both missed it. It was weird, but
wow.
It is what it is. We ended up.
And he came back though.
Yeah, he
You
came back.
both came back, and
Yeah, I
okay.
think he was out a little bit longer than I was, but I came back like sooner. Um, but even the entire time, just like going through everything that happened to me inside the organization and just realizing, and this is the thing, I didn't really realize what happened to me until after I left. But the reason I did leave was because I was watching these crazy people, right? It was some stuff I saw on the internet. They call it the Black Israelites. These dudes are racist. They spew all type of hate and just like disgusting stuff, but they do make very good points though. Like for instance, they were saying that Jesus was black, and in the Bible they said he had skin of bronze and hair of
Yeah,
wool, and it's basically just, and he's from like the Middle East, like
right,
where brown
exactly.
people are. Like no matter what, he's not whatever the Watchtower describes him to
No,
be. Like he looks
no.
Italian in the Watchtower Bible tracks. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, Jesus was not an Italian cat.
Yeah,
You know, he was from the Middle East. He was a brown brother, at least. You know,
yeah,
and I'm just like, why are they so into detail about everything, but they're not gonna focus on this detail? This is a pretty good detail that they could like lean into. Why aren't they not leaning into that? And I just kept getting hit with, oh, you're looking at apostate material. I'm like, no, I'm not. The Black
no, it has
Israelites aren't
nothing to do.
apostates.
Yeah, yeah,
They read the Bible. They believe the Bible the same way. These guys are crazy, but they're not apostates, and they ask some good questions. And instead of answering my question, I just kept getting asked, why are you looking at apostate material? Why are you looking at apostate material? And it made me click, like, maybe I should look at some apostate material. You know what I'm saying?
right.
And so I started watching this video, right? I'm like, let me just look at some apostate material and see what apostate material is. So I was just being so uncreative. I just put in apostate right into YouTube. And the first video I saw was a video by this woman named Apostate Chick, right? I don't know if you ever seen her videos, but
I
she's
haven't, but I heard
hilarious.
you mention her in one of your videos, your older videos, and I was like,
Oh yeah.
I'll have to look in. Is she still doing it, or
Nah, she don't do it no more, but her old stuff is so funny.
it's still up?
And
Okay, cool.
she still had some stuff that was kind of hard hitting too, like just describing what she went through and her being like, you know, shunned by her family and stuff like that. But I enjoyed her videos so much, and I'm just like, yo, she's saying all the stuff that I've been thinking, and she's been
Hmm.
saying all the stuff that I've always questioned. Like, I'm like, do they not want us to watch quote unquote apostate stuff because they're telling the truth and you
Yep,
learn about what's actually going on?
yep.
And
That's exactly it.
that's what woke me up. That's what made me like, yo, this. And then I just started looking at a bunch of other people. I'm like, wow, this is a whole community out here. And little bit by little bit, I just like came to and started asking my own questions, you know.
So you
And
were
then
like maybe what, 1920, or like?
nah, now I'm like 28. Like it's
Oh,
well,
okay. So
like I stopped going to the hall for a while. Like
okay.
before like I was not going to the hall, but I was still mentally in. Like, you know what I mean? Like I
Yeah,
was like,
you
okay, I
were
don't want to do it.
inactive, but yeah,
Right.
but
I
you were
don't
still.
want to do it. Yep. And in the meantime, I got married. I had kids. Well, I had a kid by the time. And I'm just, I started, I would say I officially woke up when I was 28. That's when I was officially like, wow, this is some crazy stuff. But I was inactive for a long time before then.
So
But I'm still mentally
now,
in.
what about your wife? Did you marry somebody that knows anything about? Was she?
No, my wife, she didn't know anything about it. It was funny because like when I was used to tell her, when I was like still believing in my head, I would believe, and I try to describe this fellowship and process to her. She was like, nah, that's dumb. That ain't something I would never do my family like that. That's crazy. I would never.
Well,
And
now
I'm like,
and now,
you just don't understand. You just don't
right?
get
And
it.
she's in the family. So I mean,
Right.
I mean, you're disfellowship now.
No.
Oh, you're
I'm
not. Okay,
No,
okay.
I
So you're
left.
like me.
I
You're like
realized what was
me.
going on, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm not going there anymore.
We're pomos, physically
Yeah,
out,
that's
mentally
right.
out. Yeah, yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. And and you still don't have a relationship with your family, or you
No,
do?
I do, but it's kind of strained because this
Yeah.
is the thing. Like, I do not address myself as an apostate because I
No,
don't meet the
we're
definition of
not.
apostate.
Yeah.
Right. I don't think
Yeah.
anybody does.
No.
Like, unless they change their definition to mean anybody who says anything negative. If that
Right.
is, then it's
And
like,
that's not the
yo,
definition. I mean, the actual
it's
true
not.
definition, we've changed our belief system, and that's it.
Exactly.
You know.
Yeah, but
So
at the
yeah, the
same,
true definition, yeah, but they demonize the word, and
yeah, they
we don't
have, and
fit
they
that description. We're not out to
not at
hurt
all.
anybody, or I
Nope.
mean,
We're not trying to get people killed. We're definitely
no,
not lying to anybody.
we don't
And
want
we're not,
anybody to hurt.
no,
The opposite.
exactly. I want people to know the truth. I want people to question everything that they see and everything that they read and only accept what's logical. That's all I'm asking. I'm
And
not
that's a
trying
good
to hit
point.
nobody.
If I mean, what I know what I get out of it, but what do you get out of it? You know, like we're not out to hurt anybody. So here we volunteer our time. You know,
Yes.
I mean, we get on here and we make videos, and I know you have followers and everything, you know, and patrons and stuff. But I mean, this is something that we started because we just wanted to get the word out there and help people and let them know they have a safe space, right? So,
Yeah.
I mean, what else would you say that we even get out of it except for positivity and feeling good that we've helped people? You know, like you
Well,
help people with comedy, which to me is such you have such a great channel because let's face it, you know, when you wake up, I mean, my viewers know I woke up at 55 years old, and you know, yeah, you want to know, like you said, get on there and start watching things to kind of feel that you're not alone. But when you get on and you see somebody that's making, you know, light of things, not because it's funny that the rest of our family's in, but because, you know, we're just trying to make other people kind of relax and feel like they have a place to be because it's stressful to leave, you know, like, and so I
absolutely.
guess what else do you like feel when you make your videos and
Well, I mean, it's not like just one thing. It's so many things. Like, for instance, to be able to sit down and think about what happened to you and then to talk about it, that's therapeutic to me
sure,
personally.
yeah,
Like, it feels good to me to get it out of my chest. You know what I mean? And it's also, it helps me mentally because I feel like every time I discover something or every time I think about something, and it happens a lot while I'm talking, like I'll say something and
yeah,
I'll realize like, wow,
I do it
that's
too.
why that
Yeah,
happened.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And that helps me to break the brainwashing within myself because it's certain things that's still wrong with me and I don't know why it's that way or I don't know why it's there. And to talk about it, I can actually kind of see and figure out the more I talk about it and the more I discuss it with other people exactly what's going on. So that helps me. And also, when I learned a long time ago, the moment you're able to laugh at something, it means you're over it. The most traumatic thing in the world can happen to you. Eventually, you will be able to laugh at it.
yeah,
I've seen people who lose limbs and they'll put a little tattoo on it that's like a little hand. So it is so funny and it's so cute, but that's a traumatic event.
right.
And the
That's their
moment
way of healing, though.
that's how you heal
Yeah,
when you're able to laugh. And I like to try to help people laugh and try to help people discover that, you know, there's life afterwards. And it's not just any life, it's happiness, you know, because
right,
they try to sell you on once you leave, your life's going to be terrible, your life's going to be sad, your life's going to be miserable. And I'm trying to show people that that is 100% a lie. They try to engineer your life to be that way. When you're inside, they cut off your association with people that's not witnesses. They try to get you to accept a life that's dangerous to live, a life where you just blindly trust people, a life where you're just gullible to other people. That works inside the organization, that does not work inside of the real world. A
right,
life where you're not being as competitive, a life where you're not focused on financial stability and health and things like that. They try to get you to live that life because that life works in the organization and it gets you to give as much of yourself to them as possible. But you try to live that same life outside of the organization, you get taken advantage of, you get sick, you get You may end up homeless on the street if you're not really focused on your financial
Right.
well-being and things like that. So they engineer you to fail outside of that organization.
Exactly. I love the way you just said that, because the whole time you're saying, and I'm thinking about how many times we've heard a talk, or there was in the Watchtower. I mean, I'm sure they still do it, where what happens when you leave? Well, that person ended up homeless and an addict, and
Yeah.
you know, an alcoholic, and
Yep.
so sad, and they come back, and well, why do you think that happens? It
Yeah.
doesn't happen because Satan gets to you. It
Yeah.
happens because, like you said, we are in the organization, we are engineered, we
Yeah.
are created, we're
Yeah.
we're molded, and I hate
Exactly.
using their term, but that's really the truth. They
Yeah.
literally tell you the truth about that. We're being
Yeah.
molded. We're being molded.
Yeah.
They say it all the time.
You ain't lying. Yeah.
Yeah, they weren't lying
Exactly.
about that. And then
Uh-huh.
and then when you do wake up and you do start seeing the truth, I mean, how you can't go back, because now you know
Exactly.
what's going on. And then you go out in the world, and in the real world, you were used to the bubble. And
Yes.
so you get out there, and of course you're going to start drinking, and I mean, different, not everybody does. I mean,
Yes.
you know, I woke up, and I'm just very happy to know the truth,
Yes.
and live the rest of my life happy,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So no, not everybody does, but a lot of people do. And that's why we do what we do, is to let people know
Exactly.
you have a space to come to, you know.
It's that rubber band effect, you know. You pull somebody back and you create all that tension. And the moment that they
Right.
realize that the person pulling them and
Yeah.
hurting them back
Yep.
is not on their side, and they let go, they
Yep.
shoot out in the other direction
Yep.
completely. And it's dangerous. And they do it
It is
all on
dangerous.
purpose, because everything about that organization is centered into bringing you back in the organization and locking you into the organization. Everything,
Yeah.
having a kid, getting married, everything about that organization centers you in and tries to lock you into that organization, because they want to control you. They want to control your offspring. They want to control you from generations on in.
And
They
they
want to
do.
control you even when you die. They want you, like,
Right.
they want to control that too. Even your funeral. Like, I've been to several Jehovah Witness funerals, and it's
Yeah.
hard to even sit through when you're awake, you know, because it's a freaking recruitment.
Advertisement. It is.
Yeah.
It's like an advertisement for the organization. There's
It
nothing
is.
about,
Like,
not a
hey,
whole lot about the person.
no, it's all about the organization. It's like they squeeze every bit of juice out of you they possibly can.
Right to the
And
end.
if you do anything that's contrary to what they want you to do, they throw you away like you're useless, you know? And people who claim that this is God's organization, you have to ignore a lot. You have to really think God is, one, incompetent, and you have to think God is really, really mean, you know?
Yes. I
Mean.
totally
You
agree.
have to ignore a
Yes.
bunch of scriptures too, because I remember God saying there's going to be according to the Bible, there's going to be a resurrection of the righteous and the unrighteous, right?
Mm-hmm.
So who gets to tell anybody that they're going to die other than this God you believe in? Who can tell you that? If you want to even go further than that, if you want to compare just intelligence levels, right? Let's say you believe in this amazing God. Your intelligence and your understanding compared to God, it will be like my dog in comparison to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Probably even lower than that, but just my
Yeah.
dog for reference, right?
Right.
Can my dog tell another human what my plans are next week? Can my dog even explain to another dog what my plans are next week?
Nope.
So how can a human tell you what God is going to do to you after you die? It makes no sense.
No.
And if you believe
Or
in
even when
God,
you're alive.
right?
Let's even talk about, like, while we're here, you know, here's what's going to happen. Here's the consequences of you leaving this organization. Here's the
Yes.
consequences of you doing this or doing that.
Yeah,
How do you know that?
exactly.
Where, you know, and I mean, I don't know if you went over this or not in one of your videos. You may have, about the scripture that talks about, I think you did, the faithful and discreet slave, and how, you know, they give you the proper food at the proper time, And it's a rhetorical, it's a question. It's who really is the faithful and discreet slave? See, that was one of my big questions trying to figure this out. Like you were saying, you started asking, and the first thing they did to me was the same thing. What are you reading? What are you looking at?
Yeah.
I'm looking at the Bible is what I'm looking at. I'm not looking at anything else. I mean, my grandparents, now I've got great grandparents and grandparents that were in, and I have Russell's stuff, Rutherford stuff. I have old stuff. So I started reading some books from Russell in the very beginning. And that's what woke me up. Their stuff woke me up because Russell was saying stuff like, well, you've heard, if we ever ask for money, it's time to just throw in the towel because Jehovah's not with us anymore, right? And all of a sudden I'm going, wait a minute, they're asking for money all the time. So now, I mean, there was just a video by Tony Morris that came out that said, did you do one on that? I can't remember.
I posted it.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, what? So
it's completely without logic, and this is not the first time that they've backtracked or tried to flip the script or tried to, a little hustle. But they're so masterful at it because they know that the people that are still inside the organization, they're so invested,
right.
Like if you spend that much time, that much energy, that much resources and go through all those struggles and stuff like that, at a certain point, you can't be wrong. Like you just refuse to accept that I'm wrong. I'm not.
Yeah.
You're more afraid to have to sit back and look at things after realizing you've given all this away for nothing than you are to just be happily inside your own little matrix. You know what I mean? Even though everything around you is fake and wrong, you're happy inside of it because you don't want to face the reality that everything is not the way it's supposed to be. You know what I mean? So
right, especially the older they get, like I don't know how old your parents are, but like my mom is 80. So you get to a certain age and that is your life. That is your world. And I get it. I understand that. But I mean, so like, okay, so speaking of that, your parents, so what's going on with your parents and your family, like your siblings that are still in, and your mom and dad, they're still in, they're still married?
Well, my father passed away in 2010, but he died believing. My mother, she's still fully in, but we still have a relationship. We still talk and stuff like that. She just knows not to. She knows not to talk to me about it because I'm not gonna bring it up to her. I'm not gonna like try to wake her up. Even now, she's so like into it. Her entire social structure is set up inside that organization. I would do more damage waking her up.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
Enjoy the twilight of her life, and I'm gonna let her enjoy that. But at the same time, like when because every now and then she'll say certain things to me, and and I gotta let her know, Mom, we can't have that conversation.
Yeah.
You know where I stand, and you know how I feel. And we dance around that sometimes, but I never actually try to make a play into which I wake her up because that's not something that I think will make her more happy than it would if she was just where she's at right now. My sisters, I got a couple sisters that's fully in, I actually got one sister that just came back. She was this fellowship for like 10 years or something like that. It was a long time. She went a long time. And it was funny because while I was actively making videos against the Jehovah Witnesses,
he was watching,
was still talking to me, but she wasn't talking to my sister that was this fellowship. You know what I'm saying?
Oh wow!
It was crazy. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. But my sister, she's back in. She's fully invested inside the organization, and that's cool. That's what she does. If that makes you happy, it's cool. But I got several sisters who's not in the organization who believe and agree with everything I say, but the ones that are in, they're in, and but we still talk to each other. I don't know if anybody's actively shunning anybody. Like I have one sister who I haven't talked to in a while, but she'd pick up if I call. You know, it's not one of those things where I think it's a problem. And she is, her and her husband is fully in. But yeah, it's the family dynamic. It's funny because, like I said, I had a sister I ain't talked to in years, but you know, we're still there. This religion, like, it really like messed our family up. Like, we're not
Yeah.
as close, and we've all been trained to like be able to just cut each other off if we need to, you know?
Yep.
We've
I know.
all
Believe me.
there's been times when my father would not let me see my brother. Just would not. And it's not like he was like disfellowshipped, and he just didn't want to be a Jehovah's Witness. And he know how much I looked up to my brother, because my brother was he was a ladies' man. He had all the nice cars, and he was really popular everywhere he went. He was a star basketball player. He was a star baseball player. And they took him off the team because they was Jehovah's Witness. Even though he wasn't baptized, they was trying to stop him from progressing in sports. He had scholarships and everything, but they was like, nah, you can't play sports.
Yeah.
Took it, robbed him of it. And I wanted to play sports too. They robbed me of that, you know? And I wanted to be just like my big brother, but they never let me hang around them.
It
Never let me hang
changes
around.
lives. It really does. It's I don't even, sometimes I'm at a loss for words about how hard that is to think about, for a lot of people, the time that they lost and how different their life would have been. Now for me, the way I look at it is it brought me to where I am now, and I feel good about that, and I feel good about my life now.
Yeah.
But not everybody can get there
No.
easily, you know. It takes a lot.
Yeah.
And I understand why people do the things they do when they leave. People get suicidal,
Yeah.
and they just don't know what to do. And
Yeah.
that's why I'm glad that we do what we do, you know, by
Absolutely.
just putting it out there, letting everybody know, hey, guess what? You're not crazy, you
You
know.
know.
And I watched one of your videos when you, because I know you brought it up earlier, but when you said, you know, I felt like I was the one that was crazy. It's amazing to hear other people say that now, being out of it, because that's
Yeah.
how I felt too for a long, long time. But none of us realized that,
No.
right? I mean,
Yeah, it's the corporate, it's the corporate thing. They protect their image so much, and they're so good at it that the people inside the organization, you are to never, ever do anything to show any kind of like negative feelings toward the organization. I did it too.
yeah,
Like the same
no,
way I thought I was crazy, I never voiced that.
yeah,
I was up in there, oh yeah, I'm enjoying this meeting, even though I
yeah.
clearly wasn't. And I'm starting to realize now that the same people that was, oh yeah, this field service is, oh, we're having such a good time, it's beautiful out here. They were just like me, like, God, I'd rather been at home playing Earthworm Jim or going playing basketball or something, you know, like it's so much stuff. I used to love watching Animaniacs and Transformers in the morning on Saturday, but I had to get up and go out of field
Oh,
service. It was like,
you know,
oh,
it's funny you said that, because my husband now, he wasn't a witness. We're actually high school sweethearts. We got back together 30 some years later.
ah, that's dope.
Yeah,
I love
yeah,
that.
we did. And he started studying, got baptized. Well, then we basically,
Oh, you got
postman's
one of
here.
those too?
The postman. I got 3 of them. I know.
You
I
got
see yours.
3.
Yeah, they're all deaf. All 3 of them are deaf, for real.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
we rescued 3 deaf Catahoula's. They're pretty cool dogs, but
very cool. He don't even hear himself barking.
they
Huh?
don't. No. Yeah. Hey, I'm doing a video with Jay. They don't care. The mailman's here, so.
Gotcha,
Anyway,
yeah.
now I forgot where I was going. Talking about being away. Yeah, so my husband woke up with me, which is awesome, because that helped
Nice.
me a lot.
Absolutely. That's
but
lucky, 'cause a lot of people can't get that.
yeah, well, I don't think he was ever really. He didn't. He's a very scientific guy, and the whole
Yeah.
6,000 years the Earth has been here, he was like, okay, yeah,
Darn those
yeah.
scientific, logical
No,
thinking people.
Yeah, he just wasn't. But you know, to him it was a good life, he said, and it was better than, you know, he didn't want to go against, because I had kids. You know, my
Yeah.
kids were teenagers when we got married and everything. But anyway, talking about cartoons, when we first stopped going and became inactive, I mean, Saturday and Sunday became so awesome. It was
Yeah.
like Not that I watch cartoons now, but I could.
Yeah.
Because I told him, I said, do you know you don't have any clue what that's like to grow up and lose your childhood that way? On Saturdays, do you remember going to the door? I know you do. And somebody was making breakfast.
Oh my God.
And we had like a banana.
Yeah.
We had like a banana for breakfast, right? Hurry up and eat that because we got to go. And we'd rush out the door and you'd go to the door and somebody'd open the door and the kids were all in their pajamas watching cartoons.
Yeah.
And you're looking in like, and then you smell it, the breakfast coming out of and you think, man, what would that be like? Yeah. So my husband makes sure that he makes me breakfast almost every single weekend. I get French toast and waffles and eggs because I never got to there was no breakfast on the weekends. You didn't do that. You got a Pop-Tart.
Yeah.
You know
the worst things for me was when I was growing up, and this is something I remember vividly, probably something I hated more than anything else, was holiday witnessing, specifically on Christmas. Because can you imagine a little 10-year-old kid, right, in a Chicago winter in December?
Oh yeah, I lived there. I told you, for a little bit. Horribly
cold. And we out there going door to door, snow, all that, right? On top of that, you open the door and you can see the Christmas tree. You can see the other little kids your age with their new toys, their new clothes, and you just sitting there holding this Bible, trying to look cute. Hey,
in your suit.
I brought you some good news. Yeah. You can't see my suit because I got a big old coat on.
Yeah.
I got my hood on, and I got these shoes on that's not insulated, Greg. I remember my feet always being cold.
Wet and cold, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. My feet being.
And you guys got to wear pants. You got to wear pants.
Right.
We had skirts and tights.
Yeah.
And I mean, I used to wear leggings underneath because it was just so stinking cold.
And
because we were in Michigan. So
I could never get it right either. Like I could never wear enough socks. I could never like I have boots on, but we ain't rich. We ain't had the best boots in the world. We just had the first boots you could buy, So I just remember those are like the worst memories.
I will say this about my mom. My mom did not really think that we should go out on holidays. So I will say that I was real happy with that because I never had to do that. And my mom felt like they deserved their day.
Yeah.
Now my mom won't speak to me now. She has nothing to do with me. Nothing to do with me. She's 80. But yeah, she at least said, let them have their holidays. But my mom wasn't raised a witness, so she remembered having them herself and my grandparents, on her side and everything. But yeah, that would even add a layer to what we felt like. Now, my memory is similar that I remember vividly. It does involve Christmas and the holidays, but being in school and I had my desk pulled out in the hallway because
me too.
There's a birthday. Birthday party. Well, and they were trying not to be nasty about it, but they didn't know what to do with us, right? They were afraid to leave us sit in the room because, we're not supposed to be part of it, but putting us out in the hallway, I'm sure it made them feel bad as teachers.
Yeah.
But what else where were we going to go? I know sometimes I went to the library, you would get to go do something, and whatever. But but Christmas, not coloring the tree, or, my mom would go in and say, okay, she can color the tree, but not the ornament. She can color the bunny. Yeah. But if it's got the eggs with the Easter stuff, she can't color that. And I'm like, so here I am, like what, 6, 7, and you got to make sure you don't color the ornaments. So you just color the tree part. Or they give you something else. They give you another picture to color or whatever. Yeah. But that's the kind of stuff that really stuck with me, like your experience did, because it was hard. It's very hard.
I remember specifically how hard it was when other kids would have birthday parties, because
Oh, yeah.
sometimes they'd have pizza parties.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my
Yes.
God, the pizza would
Yes.
it smell so good.
Oh, yeah.
And my teacher would be like, "You sure you can't have none?" And I'd be like, "No." And I remember one day I broke down. I was like, "Yes, can I get some, please?" And I ate it, and it felt so bad. It was good though. It was good.
Yeah.
Oh, hell no. I felt
Chicago
like,
style pizza.
yeah, it was good.
Yum.
Uh, but I felt as a child, I felt like the demons were gonna get me.
Yeah.
I felt like I angered Jehovah by eating this pizza, and it's child abuse. It's no other
Oh,
way around it. It's
no doubt about
clearly
it.
child abuse. It's mental. Because this is the thing. I was not baptized. I was not baptized. You're holding me to the standard of a person who had dedicated their life to this religion, and I was just a child.
Right.
I should have had the freedom to do whatever I wanted to until I got baptized, until I made the choice to dedicate my life. But I couldn't. I remember once I was playing basketball with some kids my age, and my father, he didn't want me hanging around anybody that wasn't a Jehovah's Witness. So he got me from the basketball court and spanked me.
Oh, wow.
Playing basketball with kids my age. I wasn't cussing. I wasn't doing no drugs. I wasn't out there smoking. I was simply playing a sport that I thought was fun with some kids my age, and I got a spanking for that. Discipline. Once again,
Discipline.
at no point at that time had I dedicated my life to Jehovah. So why are you holding
How
me?
old were you? Do you remember how old you were?
And I don't know. I was really young then. Like right now, you know how you can't really like let kids like just run around. When I was that age, I used to run all around. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, we didn't worry about the stuff that we do.
Yeah.
You know,
We can
now,
go to the store. I could run around. But, you know, we had a basketball court at the end of our block. It was like a little makeshift basketball court, but, you know, it was something for the kids in the neighborhood to do. And yeah, it was kids in the neighborhood doing bad stuff, you know. The kids who were doing good, they were at the basketball court, you know.
Right, exactly.
That wasn't on the corner. They was actually trying to have some fun.
And how confusing is that? That you're being told that if you're not baptized, you're a gang member, and you're just playing, you're doing the stuff that the good kids are doing, right?
Yeah.
And you're still being told either way. So it's like, wait, so it's bad to be a gang member, but if I'm over here playing basketball, which is a good thing, hanging out with the good kids, it's still not okay.
Still not okay. It was just you. And that's the thing with the religion. That's the exact thing with the religion. And I found out later in life about this. There was never going to be an okay. Ever.
No.
That's the entire point of the religion. They need to keep you uncomfortable at every moment, because if you are comfortable, if you are secure, if you're able to enjoy your life, you're able to think. You're able to sit down and rationalize what's going on around you. To control somebody, you have to keep them in a constant state of unsureness, of uncomfortableness. That's the only way you can control somebody. If you have them in a position to where they can relax and they can let their guard down and they can open their mind, they realize that the stuff that's going around them is bullshit.
Yep.
And that's why they do what they did. That's why it was never any pleasing them. That's why no matter how many times you went out of field service, no matter how much you donated, no matter how many parties you
always needed to do more.
It was never enough.
More. Can't, you know, like, I don't know if you still watch any of the broadcasts or any of that stuff or whatever. I think you do videos.
Yeah, I watch them to debunk them.
I watch them on Lloyd. Well, if you put one up, it's funny, you know, you and Lloyd. But I mean, just recently they had some kind of, I don't know if it's the convention, or I think it was the convention, where they had this couple that, can we do more? And I mean, literally, I remember the feeling in my stomach. It was like, man, it was never enough. I said to my husband, was it? It was not. He goes, no, it was never, ever going to be enough. I mean, no matter what you did, they'd always say, can you just do a little more? but just a, you know, and they put it that way, just maybe another hour this month, or another this or another that, you know. And I mean, it just never.
And in that particular one, they were talking about money. And this is the worst part about that one in particular. They already sat down and ran the numbers and did an entire spreadsheet, and they searched everything, and they said, okay, this is the most we can give. Boom. And they came up with a number.
Yeah.
And then after they've done all this hard work and making all this determinations, after they was like perfectly set up where their life is good and balanced, they still said, can we do more?
A little bit more. Yeah. Yeah. Can't.
That
Well, and remember
so
what she said?
weird.
She said, I'd really like to.
Right.
You know what? You know, and come on, you have a wife. What would your wife say if you said, come on, honey, can't we? No, right. We can't do a little more. You know, the kids need this. And when's the last time I got a new purse? Yeah. I mean,
absolutely. 100%.
Human. But but that was the thing, is it really wasn't a, oh, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, my husband would always look at some, you know, the videos and some of the stuff, and he'd go, that's just not like normal. That's not the way they talk to you. Yeah. You know, it's just not. And I do believe that we watched your impression of Stephen Lett the other day, which I'm pretty sure that was what we watched. Oh my goodness. It was, because I think you were like in the bathroom, in the bedroom or something, because there was a mirror behind you, and when you were cracking up laughing. Your impression was priceless.
Oh, thank you, man. I'm glad you enjoyed that.
Come on, just do a little face contortion for us. Just do it.
It's hard. Yeah. It's hard to do. It's hard. And he does it effortlessly, like, because he can go a ridiculously long time without blinking, and it's incredible.
That's what it was. Do you know,
he didn't even fully blink. Like, he was only halfway blinked.
That's what it was, Jay. I never noticed that before you brought it up in the video, and now I'm gonna have to pay attention.
Yeah.
I never paid attention to that. He does a blink. And the one you had it going for like the longest time on a video, and then he did like a little half.
Yeah, it wasn't even a full blink. It was like a little. I'm like, how?
Oh, that was funny.
This guy, like, his eyes supposed to be like burning red, but they're not. You know, I can't go that long without blinking, you know, and he does it unconsciously. Like, it's crazy. I can't get it.
Oh, it's fun. It's definitely fun to you gotta laugh about it, or you're gonna cry. I mean, especially when you're when you're trying to wake up. It's hard. I know I get a lot of people that, you know, email me and, you know, thank me, like I'm sure they do you, for just putting it out there, because you know, once you put it out there and people see that they're not alone, it makes it a lot easier. So anyway, it was awesome talking to you. You're gonna
have me on. Thanks for the invite. I appreciate it. Yeah,
for sure. But everybody, if you're not watching Jay the comedian, you need to, because I mean, really, he's a blast. I mean, you do stand-up comedy anyway, or you have on some of your videos, but he puts a little twist on things to where it just makes it comfortable and funny. And what my husband and I love about you is that you laugh at yourself. That's the best. It makes it fun. So thank you so much. And you're gonna have to teach me the holla at your brother. You got to teach me the what's the deuce. You got to do it. You got to do the holler at your brother.
Holla at your guala. Deuces. Yeah.
Wait. What'd you say?
Holla at your guala.
I thought you said holler at your brother.
Holla at a brother when you see me in the street. No. Holla at your guala.
At your guala. All right. Well, now I'll hear it differently. So I need to turn on the closed captions. So
it won't say it.
It won't
say it. No. I don't know what it says when you put it on the quotations. But
I'm doing it now. I'm gonna let you know.
Yeah, let me know what it says.
I will let you know. Absolutely. Well, thanks so much for being on my channel. I'm gonna drop all the information below. If you haven't seen it, definitely go take a look. It's definitely he's worth watching. He's hilarious. And you know what to do. If you like this video, you got to click like and subscribe to my channel. And we hope you all have a great day. Yeah, come on, Jay.
Peace. I'll let you go.